all so much for coming. This is just the beginning. This has to be the beginning of the end of this insane pattern. I have some prepared written remarks. They'll be posted to CODEPINK's blog later today, and I'll send that link around. I'll just speak from my heart from some of these remarks. I think everybody knows CODEPINK, but in case you don't, we're a women-led organization working to change U.S. foreign policy, and that is quite a big thing to fight off. And we have bitten it off since fall 2002, when we said in the face of the U.S. government's absurd and stupid color-coded alerts, hey, here's a code for you, Code Pink! And we're still at it. And yesterday, my colleagues in D.C. were all over that hearing in the House of Representatives saying, accept refugees, help vulnerable people who are fleeing from terrorism. Thank you. So after the terrorist attacks in Beirut and Paris, after the ISIL bombing of the Russian airplane, after the 5 U.S. airstrikes on the Doctors Without Borders hospital in Kunduz, Afghanistan, and after today's horrific terrorist attack in Mali, what is there left to say? I feel like saying to the members of Congress who voted yesterday, 289 to 137, for the bill to block Syrian and Iraqi refugees from coming to the United States. Why are you making things worse by hurting the most vulnerable people? As a former teacher of immigrants and refugees, I have nothing but contempt for those scapegoating the very people fleeing the violent catastrophe in Syria and Iraq, which the U.S. government bears a great deal of responsibility for. The French government's decision to deny permission for the long-planned climate marches in Paris, even as huge football matches and all kinds of other public events are going on, is counterproductive and anti-democratic. I feel like saying to Hollande, you are letting the terrorists win. I want to remind us, though, in the midst of our anguish, our anger, all the feelings that arise and are intended by terrorists, that we won an important victory last September, and we need to remember and build on that. We mustered enough support in Congress to prevent the anti-Iran deal bill from coming to a vote at all. That was a success for negotiations and for diplomacy and for sanity. We did this despite a lavishly funded propaganda campaign by AIPAC and other groups, and after years of anti-Iranian and Islamophobic political discourse. How did we win? By working together, by going to the district offices and town halls of representatives all over the country, by making phone calls, by speaking out to the media, and thank you to the members of the media who are here. Yes. By creating our own messages on social media, by refusing to be intimidated. Are we going to refuse to be intimidated now? Let me hear you say yes. Yes, we refuse to be intimidated. We refuse to be silenced. The dogs of war and racism are barking even louder now. In the face of that, with regard to Syria, CODEPINK makes the following demands of the U.S. government. Stop the bombing.
Yes.
Can I hear a yes?
Stop. Yes. Stop
the bombing.
Remove the U.S. Special Forces.
Yes, 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 yes. No special.
Continue with ceasefire talks currently underway.
Yes.
Increase humanitarian aid to refugees from the region.
Yes.
break with Saudi Arabia. Which, yes, I don't even need to explain it to you, right? CODEPINK is planning a series of coordinated events for early next year, including the first ever conference to break the U.S.-Saudi alliance. It is our oldest alliance in the Middle East, even before our alliance with Israel. It needs to be broken. And we are going to be organizing a trip to the Lebanon-Syria border. Right here in the Bay Area, we can show solidarity with Paris and with all of humanity. Tomorrow in Oakland, let's turn out for the Northern California climate mobilization in support of meaningful climate negotiations. Global climate change exacerbates political instability, resource scarcity, and human tragedy. The governments of the world, especially of the United States, must be pushed to respond adequately to this, the true existential threat. We must demand that our common resources build a sustainable and peaceful world, not a dystopia of endless wars and environmental collapse. As the French saying goes, vouloir c'est pouvoir. To want is to be able, or as I would interpret it, in wanting passionately enough, we can act. Thank you.
Thank you.